So in case you can't tell, I'm not in my normal surroundings. I'm on vacation in the mountains of North Carolina, and it is beautiful. The leaves have started turning and falling, but it's not that beautiful fall foliage that the North Carolina mountains are famous for as of yet. But that is okay because I read this. Why did I do this to myself? So, you know, it's start of spooky season. I wanted to read spooky books, which is, I mean, I thought about it after the fact. I'm like, how's that any different than what you read every day? But whatever. So I had, you know, told my book club, Army of Awesome, that I was, because they love Colleen Hoover, that I was finally like jumping into Colleen Hoover. I'm like, all right, you guys, I'm reading Colleen Hoover. And I sent them a picture. And like several of them were like, why would you start with that one? Why would you start with that one? Like, well, because I heard it was a thriller. So I wanted to be thrilled. I was nauseous. I had conflicting emotions. And it's definitely suspenseful. It was different. I feel like I need to go read something else to like cleanse my palate or something. So I will say, just preface this with, first of all, like I'll just go ahead and give it like the generic book review, okay? Which is, I would give it probably 4 stars. It was very good, very well written. It kept me but it wasn't a can't put it down. And you know, for me, that's my 5-star mark is oh God, I didn't want to put it down. I didn't want to quit reading. Well, maybe 4.5, because there were moments where I didn't want to put it down, where I just like, you know, so we'll say 4.5 stars. But this book, y'all, so just the generic book review. So the main character is Lowen. Lowen is a writer in New York, and she, you know, isn't really getting by because it's very hard. That's why they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, because it's very hard to make it in New York, because everybody's there trying to make it. So she gets this offer. There's this famous author, Verity Crawford, okay, which is why the book is named Verity. And Lowen, our character, gets this offer to, Verity has been in a car accident. She's unable to write. So they need Lowen to finish this, you know, best-selling series that she has, okay? I think there's already been like 3 books written, and it's supposed to be 7 books. Anyway, so on the way to the meeting, something terrible happens. She's kind of in shock a little bit, and this guy like pulls her to the side and is like kind of caring for her. And then later, she runs into the guy again, and circumstances are crazy. Let's just say that. And then she ends up, you know, taking this contract and going to work for this other author. And when she gets to the house, things are not what she thought they would be. They're also not what they appear to be. And she finds this journal for the author. Like, I'm literally like, because just it's making me nauseous thinking about the stuff that was in this journal. She finds this journal for this author and proceeds to read it, and then definitely makes different conclusions than she made when she first got there. And things happen in the house and with other characters, and the end is very trippy. I will say, me personally, I do not believe the last letter in the book. I do not. That's my own personal beliefs. You are welcome to believe whatever you want. I feel like kind of the beauty of this is that it is left up to interpretation, right? It's left up to you, the reader, to figure out if you think Verity was telling the truth or not. I mean, my thing is, something my therapist told me, which is, don't believe what people tell you, believe what they show you, right? So her pattern of behavior up until this point, to me, says that the letter was just a last-ditch attempt to cover her own hindparts and is not actually factual. It was just a last-ditch attempt. So I really enjoyed it. I will definitely read more Colleen Hoover, but maybe this should not have been my first one. But I enjoyed the writing. So, and it was definitely suspenseful. It was not what I thought it was going to be. So I just want to, I have all these tabs. I just want to go over some of them because I really loved some of the parts in this book. So one of them, it was talking about being in New York, and it said, I moved to the city to be invisible, but I'm certainly not impenetrable. It's something I've been working on, attempting to become as hardened as the concrete beneath my feet. It doesn't work. It hasn't been working out so well. I can feel everything I just witnessed settling in my stomach. So I love New York. I've only ever been twice, but I loved it. But it is, people, especially, I'm from a rural area, and people from the country are like, New York City, like that old salsa commercial. They're like, why would you want to go there? And I'm like, because it's freaking amazing. There's tons to do, and there's lots of art, and there's lots of culture, and there's lots of, but it's, but they think if you're in that big city, right, that you don't have any privacy. But to me, being in a big city like New York or, Paris or Atlanta or whatever, almost gives you this sense of invisibility because you're one in millions. So nobody cares, right? Nobody's paying attention to you. Nobody cares what you're doing. So you kind of have this anonymity when you're in a large city. And then this part, which y'all, if you've been watching my channel, you kind of get why this would stick out to me, right? It says, some families are lucky enough to never experience a single tragedy, but then there are those families that seem to have tragedies waiting on the back burner. What can go wrong goes wrong and then gets worse. And I'm like, are we that family? Is that what we are? All right. And then this is talking about the journal. Y'all, I'm not even a mama and I got nauseous. Like, okay. What you read will taste so bad at times you'll want to spit it out, but you'll swallow these words and they will become part of you, part of your gut, and you will hurt because of them. Girl, that was the truth. And then like some of this, and I haven't read, so maybe this is just on par for Colleen Hoover. This is just how she writes. But she's talking about this moment with this dude, and it says, he stared down at me, our mouths this close, and I could swear he was already imagining what life with me would be like. You can't look at someone the way he looked at me with the entirety of his past without also imagining the future. And I was like, wow, okay. Well, that's making me feel some kind of way. Let's see. That's just more stuff from the journal. Oh, this one was, y'all know I'm obsessed with Jen, right? And Jen's obsessed with like alpacas and llamas. And I got so tickled because the guy grew up on an alpaca farm. So it was just like funny because I'm like, you can't get away with the freaking alpacas. They're just everywhere, these alpacas. So the other one that I flagged is, you can't see it because like the sticker's directly over it, but he's asking about therapy. He says, did you go to therapy? And she says, yes, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Same, sis, same. Like therapy just helps you and you don't even realize it's helping you. And then I love this part because she was like, basically she feels like the writer in this book, she's like, nobody reads my books. Like, it would be nice for somebody just to, say, hey, like, I see you, kind of thing. And the guy in the book, he's like, your writing matters to me. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Let's see. What else? Oh my gosh. This part about the kiss. I was like, girl. Like, you know, you get the, a lot of the, oh, he kissed me like a man, you know, starving or whatever. But this one, I was like, oh, he never, all right, sis. So she's talking about this kiss, and she says, the slowness of the kiss doesn't last long. As soon as we get our first taste of each other, the kiss becomes manic. It's everything I imagined kissing him would feel like. Radiation, explosives, dynamite, and anything and everything dangerous. And I was like, ugh, ugh. But yeah, I really liked it. I know some people were like, no, and I get why they were like, no. But I like Poe, so let's see. Some of this, because I'm talking to my friend about this too, so some of this is like, meh. Oh yeah, okay. This was like sweet, but also kind of creepy. So the author that was hired to do the writing, at one point she's talking about like the situation in this house. She's talking about the dude in the house. And she's like, he deserves to be with someone who will put her love for his children before anything else. And I'm like, it's kind of like be with me because I can love you better kind of thing. But what is it? So at the top, it says sublimely creepy with a true Hoover pulse. I've been waiting for a thrill like this for years. It is definitely sublimely creepy. Sorry, y'all. I've got it sitting on the table and so the thing is shaking. But yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And if you like creepy books and you don't mind being a little grossed out, go for it. All right, guys.